What's up, you guys? Welcome to Support Group Gaming. I'm a therapist who games, and thank you for joining me today for our therapist game discussion, Resident Evil 3 Remake. Before we get into the video, if you could do me a favor and like and subscribe, it's the best way to help the channel grow, especially after today's topic. We need this topic of discussion to reach as many people as possible. Today we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 3 and a potential DLC that will bring Resident Evil 3 Remake up to the level of the Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2 remakes. I just got done playing Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, which is the DLC recently released to tell the story of Ada Wong while she is in the village during the same time as Leon S. Kennedy. Her mission is to obtain the amber from the village. The reason why Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways has sparked this discussion is because the Resident Evil 4 remake Separate Ways DLC is considered by many as one of the best Resident Evil DLCs released to date. But before we dive further into that, I want to talk about the Resident Evil remakes in the RE engine. So that would be Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4. Resident Evil 2 remake was a masterpiece. The RE engine, the gameplay, the graphics, the acting, it was just amazing. The only thing that a lot of people can really find anything to complain about when it comes to RE2 remake is the lack of effort put into the A and B scenarios. And so, this was a perfect opportunity for Capcom to really flush out the A and B scenarios and really give each character an opportunity to really see what both of them were doing at the same time simultaneously during their escape from Raccoon City, right? And so, other than one scene where they meet up in the they meet up outside at the gate, you didn't really feel like they were in the police station at the same time. Whereas in the original, there was a scene where they actually met up. Depending on which scene you were, they either met up in that hallway next to the STARS office or in the STARS office. And so it really gave you that sense of, oh, wow, like, yeah, that's what happened. So let's fast forward. Resident Evil 4's remake really hit the nail on the head when it comes to the way the story was retold, for modern consoles. The Separate Ways DLC really felt like a B scenario. When you take a look at what Leon was doing when he arrived to the village, and then you play the Separate Ways and you see how her story, her campaign runs parallel to Leon's, and how at certain points you're like, oh, that's what she was doing when Leon ran into her, or that's what she was doing when she hit up Leon on the walkie-talkie. And it really felt like a B scenario. And so that's what's really sparked this topic that I wanted to talk about. And I'm hoping that this topic really, gains traction, because it can really make the difference in resurrecting the Resident Evil 3 remake and really, elevating them to masterpiece status. A lot of fans were really upset at the fact that so much was cut out of Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 remake came out about a year after the RE2 remake, and that had a lot of people skeptical. And when RE3 remake came out, it was an enjoyable experience. I mean, of course, it's in the RE engine. In your mind, you're like, man, I can't believe it. Like, we're in Raccoon City, and we're doing Jill's campaign and everything. And then you beat the game fairly quickly, and then you realize, damn, they cut out so much out of this game. They cut out a lot out of the game. When you go back and you play the original RE3, it was a flushed out adventure through the infected streets of Raccoon City. And so that left a lot of people upset. A lot of people felt, played. They felt like, damn, I paid full price for a game that really felt like a RE2 DLC. And so that's where my topic of discussion comes into play. This is a perfect opportunity for Resident Evil to make a Resident Evil 3 remake Separate Ways DLC of their own. In this story, we can follow, as you see on the screen right there, Carlos Oliveira and his journey through Raccoon City while he separated from Jill Valentine. There were several points in the game where, Carlos runs into Jill, then they get separated. He runs into her again, they get separated. He's, hitting her up on the walkie talkie. This is the perfect time to use the same formula that they did for Resident Evil 4 Remake, Separate Ways DLC. This is the perfect opportunity for Carlos's story to be fleshed out and really develop his character even further, because a lot of fans loved Carlos in this remake. He's smooth, his voice isn't annoying, you could tell he was flirting with Jill, but he wasn't on no creepy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, his acting, the revitalization of his character was very well done. What better way to give the fans what they want in regards to seeing the rest of the city than to have Carlos, because at this point you can't redo the game. You know what I'm saying? But what better way than to have Carlos, during doing, different tasks running through Raccoon City. This is the perfect way to incorporate Raccoon City Park, the graveyard, City Hall, the press office, and even the clock tower. He could have a mission in the clock tower, and then, he walks out of the clock tower, and that's when he finds Jill on the floor, like, oh snap, I gotta get you to the hospital. And they would have to find a way, to incorporate the two. I mean, shoot, throw his hospital scene in there too. Why not? That'll extend the game even further, But it's another way to add the gravedigger fight and all of that type of stuff. So I really believe that this is a great way to make everybody happy. And I wouldn't even be mad if they charge people for it. If they did, like, okay, 10, 15 bucks, whatever, because you got to pay the developers to go in there and and create this. However, one could argue that we already paid for this game full price for what felt like DLC. But it is what it is. If they charge another 10, 15 or whatever, this could really bring this game, whole, and have people feel like, yo, this is dope. We get a chance to explore Raccoon City again the way we were supposed to. And we'll visit all those places that were cut out, and it just everybody's happy, and that would really, because right now this is how it goes. You got Resident Evil 2 remake, people really love, and then you got this one that people are like, well, like, man, it's cool, but I feel like doing that would take away the but. It would just be an experience that everybody would enjoy. So you guys let me know what you think, because just thinking about it is making me very excited, and I would love for Capcom to come across this video and really give that some thought. They should really come out with an RE3 Separate Ways DLC featuring Carlos, because it gives us an opportunity to see what he was doing when he went his separate way from Jill. I mean, what better way, you know? And it gives them an opportunity, like one team can work on that while the other team's working on, let's say a Code Veronica remake, and it's just, you're just constantly, getting people back into the series. And so anyway, you guys let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and share it with all your friends who love Capcom or and Resident Evil, because it's a good way to start that conversation and to get people talking about it. Again, RE3 remake, Separate Ways, Carlos Oliveira, him going through the streets of Raccoon City to all of the locations we didn't get to see. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you guys for the next therapist game discussion. Till next time, you guys take care. Peace.